Hi class. Today we covered interpreting slope. So we started with looking at what slope is and is not. So our first I can of this new unit is I can interpret slope graphs. So right now you need to understand that slope is on a coordinate plane. And if we think about what a coordinate plane means, we're looking at graphs that have an x and y value, okay? They look like this. And so these graphs have lighter gray grid marks on them to help us identify units. When we are doing slope, it's really important to remember that slope is also in math world referred to as the m. Okay, so we're going to be talking a lot about slope and m over the next week or two. So in story problems, this word per helps us find the units. That is that division word. And so that helps us set up the fractions, because remember, division is a fraction. We have one number on top of another. And here in slope, we clearly have the change in our y value, which is on top, over the change in our x value. So we're going to talk about that a lot over the next little while. So let's talk about how we read. We read in a story in English from left to right. So we're going to always read our graphs from left to right. This helps us talk in the same language here in math class as it does in every other math class around, okay? So here are 4 examples of different kinds of graphs that we will see. So the first one. So when we're looking at that first one, I see, if I'm going from left to right, so remember we're going from left to right, I see that from this point right here to this point, I'm going uphill. I see that I'm going up. My line is going from here to here, and it's going up. It's also going over a little bit. So we say that that is a positive slope. And we also say that it is increasing. So let's look at the graph number 2. I see that from the left to the right, I'm going down the hill. So I'm going down. So if I put a ball on this, it'd be going down. Okay? And so this is a negative slope. And we also say that this is decreasing. Okay. Now, we have 2 very interesting situations with the yellow lines. These are very special cases. Now, as we go through the unit, I'll teach you more things about how to determine these. But when we're looking at this first guy right here, this first yellow line, so I'm looking at this line right here, and I see that it looks exactly the same as the y-axis, but it's shifted over, okay? When a line does not shift left or right, but is just straight up and down, we call this as undefined. Okay, now, because it's going straight down, down is undefined. There's really no other easy way to think of this line other than down, defined, undefined, okay? But let's look at this second guy over here. This guy is mirroring the x-axis. See, here's the x-axis right here. And it's straight vertical. Okay, straight. Now, this guy is called a zero slope, because it doesn't go up at all or down at all. It's going 0 that direction, okay? When we're talking about slope, we're really talking about how it's changing up and down, okay? But if it helps you to think, here's Miss Gooch on a sled. Woo! I'm sitting on my sled and I'm going nowhere. I'm having 0 fun because that line is getting me nowhere, okay? All right, so let's look at, so that's all the notes that we had for that, okay, guys? So really, it's just those vocabulary words and understanding each of these pieces. So make sure you have this in your notes. We will add more information to this as we get going. All right, bye, guys.